Thank you so much, Sandra, for your introduction. And it's an honor for me to be part of the INCASI network and give you an overview of the work that I would like to present and discuss with you about the role of unions in wage inequality and what lessons we might learn by comparing Europe and Brazil. What I did here in the secondment is I make a explorative multidisciplinary literature review, economics, sociology, political law, about firstly, what are the effects of industrial relations towards levels of wage inequality. Very fast, there are several dimensions of wage inequality. We can look to inequality between wages and capital, of labor and capital, how much of the gross domestic products goes to the factor of labor. This is one dimension. Another dimension where I look more to is the wage inequality between workers. So in their earnings, a third. Here, a very snapshot of the recent data, just a picture of the last year. Look to the union's context in Europe and Brazil, more in a general way. In what environments do they act? In what environment of industrial relations and labor market? And on an abstract level, you see quite a lot of similarities. You see in all countries decreasing membership of unions. You see in all countries difficulties organizing, mobilizing low-paid workers, instability in collective bargaining coverage, neoliberal labor market reforms in promoting flexible work with less job security. We see that trade unions, it's less evident that trade unions have access to lobbies and influence in governments. The difference, of course, I say nothing new, that there's very different histories in labor relations. There's much more informal work in Brazil, like in other Latin American countries, and that the wage inequality is structurally higher. Here I go a little bit faster because of the time. I think I will write it more in my working paper. There's a lot of literature. I take that first as a starting point, that the coverage of collective bargaining with unions, mostly the higher the union membership, the higher equality. State support is really important. The statutory minimum wage is one of the most effective mechanism to reduce wage inequality. There's also literature about interconnections.